Welcome to our class. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the linguistic features in expository texts. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to identify various linguistic features such as diction and style, transition devices, and sentence structure and function in informational texts. Examine how these linguistic features contribute to the clarity and organization of informational texts, and appreciate the role of linguistic features in improving the readability and effectiveness of informational texts. Now, let's start with diction and style. Diction refers to the choice of words used in writing, while style refers to how those words are arranged to create a particular tone, voice, and level of formality. Diction and style is important because it ensures that the message is clear and appropriate for the audience. Also, good style enhances readability and engagement. Moreover, using precise and concise words prevents confusion and misinterpretation. Let's have an example. The sentence, "The experiment yielded conclusive results, supporting the hypothesis," has a formal style, while the sentence, "The experiment totally worked, proving the idea was right," has an informal style. Let's have another example. The sentence, "Excessive screen time can impair cognitive development in children," is precise, while the sentence, "Too much screen time is bad for kids," is vague. Now, let's talk about another feature of expository texts, which is the transition devices. Transition devices are words and phrases that connect ideas, sentences, and paragraphs to create smooth flow and coherence in writing. Transition devices help readers follow the logical flow of ideas. They indicate relationships between ideas, such as cause and effect, comparison, contrast, or sequence. These are the transition devices used in a cause and effect structure. Let's use some of them in sentences. Pause this video and read the example. Then, try to identify the transition devices. The transition devices are as a result and consequently. These are the transition devices used in comparing and contrasting. Pause this video and read the example. Then, try to identify the transition devices. The transition devices are similarly, however, and despite these differences. These are the transition devices used in description type of expository texts. Pause this video and read the example. Then, try to identify the transition devices. The transition device used in this paragraph is additionally. These are the transition devices used in problem and solution expository texts. Pause this video and read the example. Then, try to identify the transition devices. The transition devices used here are to combat this problem and moreover. Finally, these are the transition devices used in sequence paragraphs. Pause this video and read the example. Then, try to identify the transition devices. The transition devices here are first, next, then, after that, and finally. Now, let's learn about the sentence structure and function in expository texts. For description, there are two types of sentence structure and function. The first one is identification, which is used to identify a phenomenon to be described. The second one is description, which focuses on parts, qualities, features, or examples. In sequence, the sentence structure and function is to list the order or steps in a process or event from first to last in sequential order. In comparing or contrasting, the sentence structure and function can be one of these three types. The first one is introduction of topics to be compared or contrasted. In problem and solution expository texts, there are three types of sentence structure and function. The first one is outline of problem to be addressed in the text. The next one is identification of potential solution or solutions. And the last one is explanation of why potential solution is valid. Finally, for cause and effect, there are two sentence structure and function. The first one is introduction of initial event that triggers subsequent events. The second one is description of what or how consequences occurred as a result. That's all that we are going to cover in this video. On the next one, we will analyze the linguistic features of each type of expository texts. Thank you for watching this video lesson. If you think you need this for your class, you may avail the product package in my Racket PH store, which is linked in the description below. It includes lesson plan, presentation, and activity sheet for this lesson.